Imagine sliding into your car, pressing a single hidden button, and suddenly feeling double the power at your command. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Most drivers chase that myth, unaware that modern vehicles hide not one, but 13 secret ways to unlock performance. Manufacturers do this on purpose. Emissions rules, safety limits, and engine protection settings hold back full performance. So, most drivers never realize how much power their car can actually deliver unless they know where to look. Get ready, the hidden power is about to be unleashed. Number 13. ECT power button. Pressing the electronically controlled transmission power button instantly changes how your car thinks about shifting. Instead of prioritizing fuel efficiency, the transmission now prioritizes raw power. Your engine revs higher before it even considers moving up a gear. Downshifts happen faster and more willingly, giving you quicker access to torque when you press the accelerator. Staying in lower gears longer keeps the engine in its strongest rev range. That means more pulling force, better acceleration, and a noticeable burst when you need it most. Today, the core principle remains the same, but just a handful of drivers know about it. You'll find it in Toyota vehicles like the Crown, Camry, Highlander, and Tundra. This isn't a button for everyday city cruising. Fuel economy takes a hit. Expect 2 to 4 miles per gallon less, depending on load and terrain. But when used wisely, it transforms the car's behavior into something thrilling. Towing a trailer? The ECT power mode holds lower gears, climbing hills smoothly and keeping momentum without stress. On twisty mountain roads, it stops the transmission from hunting gears and boosts engine braking for steadier control. Merging onto highways becomes sharper, quicker, almost like the car anticipates your moves. If you're passing slower traffic, downshifts hit faster, power hits harder, and you feel a surge of confidence. You stay in control, and the car delivers power exactly when you need it. Next time you face a steep hill or a short highway on-ramp, press that button and feel the difference. Number 12. Turbo Overboost. Power can be unleashed in a heartbeat with Turbo Overboost. This hidden feature appears in turbocharged cars from brands like BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, Ford, Porsche, and Mercedes-Benz. When activated, it pushes the engine beyond its normal boost limits. At its core, a turbo spins because exhaust gases turn a turbine. That turbine drives a compressor, pressurizing the intake air for more power. The secret lies in the wastegate, a valve controlling how much exhaust bypasses the turbine. When the valve opens or closes precisely, the system can temporarily increase boost. That surge delivers more torque instantly, making acceleration sharper and overtaking effortless. The effect is short-lived. Manufacturers limit overboost to protect the engine from heat, maintain reliability, and meet emissions rules. Most drivers never even notice this feature exists. Some even attempt aftermarket mods without understanding the risks. Done wrong, it can overheat or damage the turbo. In the right hands, Turbo Overboost is a precision tool. Quick highway merges, overtaking slower vehicles, or climbing steep hills become more responsive. You feel the engine come alive, almost like it's anticipating your inputs. Exploiting this hidden button safely gives a thrilling burst of performance, showing just how much untapped power sits quietly beneath the hood. But that surge fades fast on purpose, which is why the next control doesn't chase speed. It reshapes the center of balance itself. Number 11. The gravity lever. Height decides power long before the engine ever reacts. Many drivers worry about ground clearance unnecessarily, even when the solution already exists. Modern cars quietly adjust ride height to match driving conditions. This system is often called the gravity lever and is just a button press away. It appears in vehicles like Volvo hybrids, Range Rovers, and other advanced sedans and SUVs. Ride height directly shapes how a car behaves at speed and under load. Lowering the vehicle drops its center of gravity, which immediately reduces body roll during cornering. With less body movement, steering feels sharper, more direct, and easier to predict. High-speed stability improves because the car resists unwanted sway and vertical motion. Many modern vehicles even lower themselves automatically on highways. This subtle adjustment improves aerodynamics by reducing airflow underneath the chassis. With less drag to overcome, the engine works less to maintain speed. As a result, power feels stronger because less energy is wasted pushing against air resistance. Raising the car changes priorities completely. Higher ride height improves comfort over rough roads. It protects the underbody from obstacles and steep driveways. However, it sacrifices handling precision and performance feel. The car becomes softer and less connected. This setting is useful, but not for spirited driving. This button is not truly hidden, but often ignored. You can actively manage it instead of letting automation decide. Controlling ride height gives you leverage over physics itself. Lower when driving fast and raise only when clearance is necessary. Once physics starts bending in your favor, the next limiter isn't mechanical at all. It's something you feel every time the light turns green. Number 10. Auto Start Disable. The light turns green. Your foot presses the accelerator and nothing happens. Just a half-second pause that feels far longer. That moment is the auto start-stop system waking your engine back up. In traffic and rolling stops, this system constantly shuts the engine down. It was designed to satisfy emissions targets, not to sharpen performance. When the engine restarts, it prioritizes smoothness over urgency, yet that softness creates a throttle delay right when you need movement. Those small pauses quietly sabotage momentum. Every restart forces the car to rebuild energy from zero, making acceleration feel inconsistent, especially at low speeds. Some launches feel fine, others feel lazy and unresponsive. Over time, the car begins to feel heavier than it actually is. Many vehicles even default the system back on every time you start the engine. Drivers unknowingly accept hesitation as normal behavior. Disabling auto start-stop changes the experience instantly. The engine stays awake and ready for input. Throttle response becomes consistent and predictable. Pulling away from intersections feels smoother and more confident. Plus, merging into traffic happens without hesitation or delay. The car feels more alert, more connected, and easier to control. This button does not add horsepower or torque, but it removes an artificial pause that hides available power. Once disabled, the engine finally responds the moment you ask it to move. If this just revealed something you never knew about your car, hit the like button so more drivers can discover these hidden features and get more out of their cars. And don't go anywhere. We're just getting started, and the next hidden buttons might unlock even more performance you didn't know your car had. Number 9. AWD and 4WD mode. Power means nothing if the tires cannot use it. That truth explains why AWD and 4WD modes matter. Modern all-wheel drive systems are not dumb mechanical parts anymore. They are smart computers predicting what will happen next. Sensors watch throttle input, steering angle, wheel speed, and road grip. The system decides where power should go before slip occurs. That makes modern AWD predictive, not reactive. In default driving modes, the system plays it safe. Torque is biased toward efficiency and fuel savings since power is sent mainly to one axle. This reduces drag and improves mileage, but it also limits how much power reaches the road. The engine may be strong, yet grip becomes the bottleneck. Switching to AWD or 4WD performance modes changes everything. Torque is preloaded to more wheels immediately. Power is shared before tires lose traction, giving the engine permission to deliver more usable force. Acceleration feels stronger because less power is wasted. Launches become smoother, and corner exits feel more controlled. In rain, snow, or uneven pavement, the difference is even more dramatic. This button does not create horsepower magically. It unlocks the power already available. By managing grip intelligently, AWD and 4WD modes turn engine output into real movement. When traction improves, performance follows immediately. However, there's still a quiet system standing between you and instant response, especially when you're stopped. Number 8. The parking lock. Many drivers ignore the parking brake now because push-button systems have made it too easy to forget. In older cars, you pulled a handbrake or pressed a foot brake. That action told the car it was fully secured. Modern cars have replaced that muscle memory with software, an electronic parking brake that manages safety with motors and sensors. This button performs the same job as the old handbrake, locking the car securely when parked. Unlike mechanical systems, it constantly monitors slope, wheel movement, and brake pressure before allowing torque to flow. Until the system confirms conditions are safe, the engine holds back power. When shifting from park to drive, this subtle delay feels like hesitation at first, but it is not a weakness in the engine. It is safety logic ensuring smooth, controlled movement before performance is released. Hill hold, creep control, and incline detection are all tied into this system, preventing rollback or sudden surges on slopes. While these features enhance safety, they slightly delay throttle response and block aggressive launches by design, protecting both the drivetrain and the brakes. Manually releasing the parking brake transforms the driving experience. Torque flows instantly, and the car feels sharper, more responsive, and alive. The engine's power was always there. It was simply waiting for your command to be fully unleashed. Number 7. Eco Mode Off. Sometimes called the invisible brake, this button quietly reshapes how your engine responds. When engaged, throttle curves are softened, making acceleration feel sluggish even when your foot presses hard. Turbocharged engines are affected most. Boost is limited, and the engine hesitates before delivering full power. On many cars, Eco Mode automatically reactivates every time you restart, catching drivers off guard. This system was designed to save fuel, but it comes at a cost. Acceleration feels delayed. Merges onto highways take longer, and overtaking slower vehicles becomes less confident. Your car is technically capable of more, but Eco Mode keeps it restrained. Even experienced drivers sometimes blame themselves for slow responses when the system is really holding the power back. It's a psychological trap disguised as fuel efficiency. Switching Eco Mode off changes the entire driving experience. Throttle response becomes sharper and more predictable. Turbo boost engages fully, and acceleration feels immediate. The car suddenly feels alive, responsive, and willing to follow every input precisely. With a single press, your engine sheds restraint and lets performance speak for itself. Driving no longer feels controlled by the system. You are finally in charge. With efficiency out of the way, the car finally wants to move, unless something else decides you've had enough control. Number 6. Traction control off. Your car can feel like it's fighting you, and sometimes it is. Traction control exists to stop wheel spin, but in the process, it often hides the engine's full strength. Sensors constantly monitor wheel rotation and throttle input, cutting power or applying brakes when slip is detected. In daily driving, this keeps the car safe, but in spirited driving or emergency maneuvers, it can feel like an invisible hand is holding the power back. Modern systems let you partially or fully disable traction control. Partial mode allows some wheel spin while still preventing dangerous slides. Full disable frees every ounce of torque to the wheels. The difference is immediate. Launches feel sharper, corner exits snap with confidence, and acceleration is no longer softened by software. Yet it comes with responsibility. Turn it off on slick roads or loose surfaces, and the car will punish mistakes instantly. Knowing this button is like understanding a car's secret language. It separates the timid from the skilled, the passive driver from the one in control. When used intelligently, traction control off unlocks raw responsiveness, letting your engine's true potential reach the pavement. Power flows directly, reactions become sharper, and the thrill of driving returns. It doesn't create horsepower. It releases what was already waiting beneath your right foot. Raw torque feels intoxicating, until you realize the gearbox has been politely undoing your decisions the whole time. Number 5. Paddle shifters. Automatic transmissions are programmed for smoothness and efficiency, not peak performance. They upshift early to save fuel or protect components, leaving engine power trapped in lower RPMs. The result: acceleration feels muted, and the car never fully shows its potential. Paddle shifters give that control back to the driver. By holding a gear at the optimal RPM, the engine stays in its strongest power band. Downshifts happen precisely when needed, allowing torque to flow instantly to the wheels. The car feels sharper and more responsive because you dictate the shifts, not the software. Early upshifts are prevented, so acceleration remains consistent and thrilling. This is especially noticeable during spirited driving, highway merges, or overtaking slower vehicles. The difference between automatic logic and manual paddle control can feel like night and day. Every press of the paddle delivers a precise gear change, keeping the engine alive and energetic. Torque is available exactly when demanded, turning every acceleration into a controlled surge. Using paddle shifters doesn't increase engine horsepower, but it lets the car access power already there. Manual control reconnects the driver to the machine, making every drive more engaging, precise, and satisfying. It transforms an obedient automatic into a responsive, high-performance partner. If you've stuck with me this far, make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss hidden features and performance tips like these. And trust me, the next buttons we're about to reveal are the ones most drivers never even realize they have. Keep watching. Number 4. The heat permission switch. Power doesn't disappear when a car gets hot. It gets locked away. Modern vehicles constantly monitor temperature long before warning lights appear. The ECU watches oil temperature, intake air heat, transmission warmth, and even battery stress. When any of these climb too high, power is quietly reduced. Drivers feel it as flat acceleration or fading response. No alarm sound. The car simply protects itself. This is where the heat permission switch mindset matters. Short, aggressive bursts often feel stronger because temperatures stay within safe limits. Sustained pulls, repeated launches, or long uphill runs build heat quickly. Once thermal limits approach, the ECU tightens control. Boost is reduced, throttle response softens, and timing is adjusted. Power hasn't vanished. It's been paused. Airflow plays a huge role in this hidden system. Moving air cools radiators, intercoolers, and oil systems more effectively. That's why power feels better at speed than in stop-and-go traffic. Warm-up behavior also matters. Cold engines restrict power to prevent damage. Gradual driving brings components into their optimal range faster. Smart drivers work with the system, not against it. A proper warm-up unlocks full output sooner. Brief cool-down periods restore lost performance. Even hood vents, clean radiators, and airflow paths make a difference. The engine delivers its best only when conditions are right. Number 3. The Assist Silence Button. The car doesn't always trust you with full control, and as a result, driver assist systems are designed to protect, predict, and prevent mistakes. To do that, they constantly negotiate throttle authority behind the scenes. Lane assist, collision mitigation, and steering correction stay alert even when nothing appears wrong. They apply small power limits, just in case, preparing to intervene before danger actually exists. This silent supervision changes how the car feels. Acceleration becomes cautious. Throttle response softens slightly, and the vehicle hesitates when you expect clean movement. Most drivers never notice because the systems rarely activate visibly. But the restrictions are always there, quietly shaping how power is delivered. Disabling these assistance layers removes invisible guardrails. Throttle input becomes more direct and predictable. Steering feels lighter because corrections stop fighting your intent. The car responds immediately instead of second-guessing your actions, making power to flow steadily because no system is holding it back. This doesn't make the car reckless or unsafe by default. It simply gives authority back to the driver. On open roads, clear weather, or controlled environments, the difference is unmistakable. The vehicle feels sharper, more willing, and easier to place accurately. Every input produces an honest reaction. Get it right? The assist. Silence button doesn't add horsepower. Instead, it restores confidence. It tells the car you're in charge now. When trust returns between driver and machine, performance feels natural again. Number 2. Sport mode. Pressing sport mode is like waking your car from a nap. Most drivers think it just makes shifts quicker, but it does far more. Sport mode rewrites how the car responds, touching throttle, transmission, steering, and even suspension. It reshapes throttle mapping, making the engine more eager the moment you press the accelerator. Every input feels sharper, more immediate, and alive. Transmission logic changes too. The system holds gears longer, delays upshifts, and anticipates your next move. Acceleration becomes smoother yet more aggressive, and torque is available exactly when demanded. Steering and suspension often stiffen simultaneously, improving responsiveness in corners and high-speed stability. Every corner, merge, or overtake suddenly feels precise and controlled. Manufacturers tend to downplay this mode because it reveals the car's hidden potential. Sales and safety strategies often mask how much power sport mode actually delivers. The difference is subtle on paper but unmistakable on the road. Drivers who ignore it leave performance on the table, never realizing the car can feel completely transformed with a simple press. It's the obvious button many overlook, yet it can turn routine driving into a connected, exhilarating experience. With sport engaged, the car finally behaves the way it was engineered to feel. Finally, the surface feels complete, yet the real authority lives deeper than most drivers ever explore. Number 1. Hidden drive mode menus. Most drivers tap sport mode and move on, never realizing a deeper layer of performance is hiding underneath. Inside sport or custom modes live sub-modes that quietly control how the car behaves. These menus allow individual tuning of the engine, transmission, suspension, and steering response. The default sport setting is a compromise. It balances excitement with comfort, fuel economy, and component protection. Manufacturers design it this way to suit the widest range of drivers, but it is rarely the most aggressive configuration available. Deeper menus let you sharpen throttle response without stiffening suspension. You can hold gears longer without heavy steering, and each system can be pushed closer to its performance limit independently. This level of control changes how the car feels. Acceleration becomes cleaner because the engine responds exactly as commanded. Shifts feel intentional instead of automatic. Suspension behavior matches road conditions rather than assumptions. The car stops guessing and starts obeying. Many vehicles hide these options under custom, individual, or advanced drive settings. Some require multiple screen taps or menu layers. That complexity keeps casual drivers away. But for those who explore, the reward is significant. The strongest cars aren't defined by engine size, but by drivers who know which buttons unlock their car's true potential. Which button surprised you most and made you realize how much performance you've been leaving unused? Drop your experience in the comments. Hit like and subscribe for more smart car tips. And before you go, check out our next video on proven habits that make engines run like new again. You don't want to miss it.